So the latest video game adaptation has come to Amazon Prime. The Fallout series is the breakout hit that everybody's talking about online. I think I ended up watching it I finished it within I think 3 days because they followed the new, old, now new again model of just dropping all the episodes on the release day. I found it personally to be a pretty enjoyable series. I'm not an actual fan or guy who's played the original video game, but I found it pretty engaging. I'll have you go ahead and start. What did you think about it?
My expectations for the show were very, very low. I'm not a huge fan of the games. I played Fallout Vegas like X amount of years ago. Enjoyed what I played and haven't picked up the game since. So I was going into the show not really knowing a damn thing. I enjoyed it for what I watched. I enjoyed all the characters. Everyone was interesting and funny. I really enjoyed Ella Purnell, I think her name is.
Ella Purnell, who plays Lucy
yeah.
McLean.
Yes, she was awesome. She really gave you the view, like she gave her point of view is your point of view. You know, you're inside the vault, and that's all you know. You come out to the world, and she's experiencing the world just like you are. So everything she's experiencing, you're experiencing also. So I thought that was good. Really shout out to Walton Goggins.
Yeah, who plays the Ghoul.
The Ghoul, yeah, phenomenal performance. I'm not a big fan of his for real. Not to say he hasn't really done anything bad that I've seen him in. I'm just not a huge fan of his. I am now. He did a great job. So shout out to that. Shout out to him. And shout out to Aaron Moten, who at the same time looks like Denzel Washington. He looks like fucking Jonathan Majors and Denzel Washington and acts just like Jonathan Majors. So I was a fan of his for real. I was a huge fan of his. He did a good job. All around, the series looks great. I can't really complain about anything for real. I was engaged throughout the whole thing. They did a good job on cinematography. Everything looks real. So shout out to Amazon for that. What did you think?
I did. I also really enjoyed it. So like you, I never played the series. I think I played Fallout 4 for about an hour and got bored and turned it off. I think in general, it's one of those like adventure games where it's RPG. It is, I think, designed to be slower pace and building an inventory and going on like the thing says in the thing, side quests, like always divert you away from the main story. But I think that's supposed to be the fun of the games, is all the stuff you do on the side. So I can understand why people enjoyed it. I got the interest that people had in it. I never found it that compelling myself. But that being said, I will say, I guess this is gonna be a spoiler-filled one. Around the end of the show, in I think one of the last episodes, is where they kind of disclose how should have pulled up like the terminology, but the basically shadow organization that is actually behind Vault Tech and creating all the vaults and all the funding that they got. When they showed that in the last episode about how, you guys can basically just run all these vaults as social experiments and do whatever you want, and whoever's idea wins or whoever ideas is best is what wins and is going to be the ones to restart mankind and reshape the world however they want. I thought that was a really interesting thing. And so that's what all the games were kind of based in. And I actually wound up watching a YouTube video that kind of breaks down all the different vaults and all the experimentation that went on in them. And that was pretty interesting. My favorite was Vault 69.
Nice.
You know what happens there? It's a vault with 99 women and one guy. And then they have Vault 68, which is the opposite. It's 99 guys and one woman.
Got dark fast.
Way darker. Way dark. Like much darker.
Terrifying. Holy shit.
Way darker. The Vault 69 was like, I think like they didn't really say what happens, but it's probably a good time. So I found that whole aspect of it very interesting. I don't know if they'll dive more into that in the shows. I would think they would, because they kind of showed Vault 3 in the show and how that one had like basically people who had like I guess mutant people, or people who had like some kind of genetic modifications, and people who were from the surface and stuff like that. So I thought that was an interesting part of it, and I wasn't, again, really aware of it from the show. I just know it's like, it's post-apocalyptic wasteland, that kind of thing. I never really knew that from the actual stories. I thought that was good. I thought all the acting was really good. I liked Ella Purnell, who plays Lucy. The guy that you're talking about, I know is Maximus. I don't remember his actual name, from real life.
Oh,
But
Aaron Moulton, something like that.
oh, okay,
What his
Aaron
name
Moulton.
is.
I thought he was pretty good. I liked his character development. I thought I kind of didn't like him at the beginning, but I kind of like where his character went. I thought he was pretty good. Yeah, a lot of and Walton Goggins. I do like Walton Goggins. I've seen him. He was in like The Hateful Eight. He's in Vice Principals. I don't know if you ever saw that. He's really good in that. I like him. He's a pretty good actor. I've seen him in a bunch of things. I'm interested to see where this goes. Like I said, I hope that with it, they obviously tease at the end of it, they are going to New Vegas. I don't really know as far as like the way they're kind of setting this show up. And I guess you maybe know more if you've played the games. It does kind of just seem like one of those continuous kind of shows where they're just going to be exploring wasteland and like doing that.
No end.
Yeah, that's my thing. It's like, is there any kind of like end goal that they have of like, oh, we're going to overthrow? Because there's so many different. Again, I watched a YouTube video. There's like different factions, and there's like roaming marauders and all this like people who are on the surface and settlements and all that. Is there like a central figurehead or a goal that they're actually trying to?
It's probably not, as far as I can tell, and then I guess someone can correct me if I'm wrong. This is an originalized story. Like these characters don't exist in the game, so everything that you saw is just like this takes place in Fallout, but these people aren't part of the game whatsoever. Right. And so for you saying like this, like how does this end? I don't think it has to end. Honestly, I think maybe in season 2 they get to New Vegas and do whatever they got to do, and maybe their story ends, but then season 3 picks up with like an entirely new cast and a different wasteland, part of the world, whatever. So I think that's one way they can do this. I know for like the Fallout games, you're a new person every single time exploring a different part of the wastelands in America. So it's probably gonna follow that aspect. I don't really know. I'm cool with them just exploring the world because the world is interesting. So I don't really know what I want in the end.
I feel like I want some kind of centralized story because I mean, again, I get the idea of like exploring different vaults and doing all that. My only thing is like I could understand that if they literally follow the games to the extent of they're just going to change out the cast every couple seasons or whatever, sort of like, I guess to me that I get that that's how it is for the video game, but in as far as TV terms, that's more like an anthology series like American Horror Story, where basically American Horror Story is like either every season or every couple seasons, it's just like the whole cast is swapped out, the whole show's centralized theme is changed. So I could kind of see myself like watching a season or 2 of that. I don't know how long I would stick with it. But yeah, I'll look for this. I'll definitely watch season 2 whenever it comes out. I hope some people we get to know more about. I want to know what happens to her brother, because her brother just is like still locked in that fucking Bud guy's thing, right? He just like locked himself in one of the tubes. So following your idea of like if they don't really have a centralized story, he might wake up in like 200 years and we get a whole new thing. So that would be interesting. That'd be cool.
Yeah, see, that's fire. See, now you just
that yourself back into watching that I wouldn't mind. Yeah, it's like he wakes up, his sister's dead, dad's dead, all his vault people are dead. That'd be cool.
Did this make you want to go and play the games again? Because I saw Steam had to sell. I did buy like 76 and 4 for like $8, which is crazy. Yeah. Haven't turned it on yet, but the show did make me interested in playing the games.
It didn't make me interested in playing the games. It did make me interested in watching YouTube videos about the lore. I did that. I did that. Like, I did do that.
You don't want to play? You just want to know?
No, I didn't want to play the games. Because, like, I played the games, and, like, they're slow paced for me. I don't really care about being in the wasteland.
Yeah, shut up. If you haven't seen Fallout, definitely fucking check it out. You're missing a great series if you have not seen it.